Morning. Will the audience please stand as the John M. Huntsman School of Business Class of 2021 enters the auditorium. The audience and the students, please be seated. Talk about perseverance. Thank you all for coming. I'm Douglas Anderson, Dean of the John M. Huntsman School of Business, and it's my pleasure and honor to welcome you all to our graduation ceremony to this day. We're so grateful to be able to celebrate with you today. This is a special day for the entire Huntsman School community, but it is an especially great day for our graduates, families, and supporters. We welcome those family members and supporters of our graduates who are here today in the Spectrum, and a most special welcome to those who are watching the broadcast remotely. We wish we could have every one of you here with us today, and we so appreciate the support you have given to these wonderful graduates during their time throughout their undergraduate and graduate experience. Graduates, would you please stand and acknowledge your honored families and friends with gratitude for their support over the last few years. Thank you. I would also like to recognize my colleagues in the Huntsman School, our department heads, our associate deans, faculty, and staff who are with us today. Will you please stand and be recognized? Thank you for the myriad of ways in which you support these fine students. Graduates, it's been an incredible year, but I hope that as you leave this beautiful campus, you will reflect on the entirety of your experience at Utah State University. Think about the hopes and dreams you had when you first arrived on campus, and think about the amazing journey you are on. Think about the challenges you faced, Bloomberg terminals, and calculating net present value, sales Jedi training, and Python, and yes, Zoom, and still more Zoom. A little more than a year ago, when we Aggies were celebrating maybe the greatest basketball victory in Aggie history as our own Sam Merrill hit the game-winning shot to win the Mountain West tournament, little did we know how much the world would change. We've all gone through some hard things, seen family members, loved ones, and our fellow human beings suffer. But as we begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel, I hope we can also reflect on and build on what we have learned about hardships in the past year. I know I've been amazed by the perseverance and resilience shown by you, our students, and our faculty and staff. We've pivoted to online learning, to hybrid classrooms, and we've enjoyed amazing success. I hope you'll allow me to single out just a few of those incredible accomplishments. Just a few weeks ago, Utah State University held its annual Robbins Award program, recognizing some of the outstanding student, faculty, and staff accomplishments of the year. Once again, the Huntsman School students walked away with top honors. Finance major Sammy Ahmed was recognized, Sammy, was recognized with the Nicholas Robbins Award. As you know, Sammy was elected twice as student body president and is now going to go to work for Levitt Partners. The Geraldine Robbins Award went to marketing major Brock Hardcastle, who served as our business senator for his work on a project eliminating the cost of feminine hygiene products across campus. Brock is going to General Mills upon graduation. Autumn DeHard, who is graduating in marketing, won the Robbins Award for Women's Athlete of the Year 2021. She was also named Gymnast of the Year for the entire Mountain Rim Gymnastics Conference. She's headed home to Wisconsin to begin a new job in June. The Legacy of Utah State Award went to Ashley Morey. Ashley returned to school several years after becoming widowed with 3 young children. She then became president of the Human Resource Management Club and used the challenges surrounding COVID-19 to include other Utah schools in virtual events. The Organization of the Year Award was awarded to the Huntsman Pro Sales Club, which every year prepares and sends some of our best students to amazing student sales opportunities across the country. 3 of the 4 graduating student athletes recognized as top honorees receiving the Joey Whitesides Scholar Athlete Award are Huntsman students. Men's tennis player Felipe Acosta will complete a dual major in international business and finance, while football's Nick Henniger and women's track and field athlete Audrey Garrett are both completing the MBA program. Other notable successes include our finance students, who were best in state for the 4th year in a row at the annual CFA Research Institute Challenge, and then went on to win their regional competition, becoming one of the top 15 teams in the entire world. Student clubs in accounting and MIS were nationally recognized for excellence, as were our programs in accounting, sales, and economics. These and many more such outstanding accomplishments are especially gratifying in the context of the past year and point to what can be accomplished by daring mighty things, by persevering, and by pivoting to new opportunities. Please join me in recognizing these great accomplishments by the Huntsman School community. Our program today will follow this outline. First, we will hear from the Huntsman School valedictorian, Jack Despain. Jack? Jack will be introduced by Professor Briggs Depew, his chosen faculty escort. After Jack's remarks, we will award the diplomas, following which I will make some brief concluding remarks. Professor Depew.
It is my honor to introduce the John M. Huntsman School of Business valedictorian, Jack Despain. Jack is receiving degrees in both finance and economics with a minor in real estate. Jack was born in Salt Lake City, but proudly grew up in Philadelphia. At USU, Jack has been involved in several programs and extracurricular activities. He is a member of the Huntsman Scholar Program. Jack was a 4-year member of the club baseball team, earning second-team All-Region honors as a starting pitcher his freshman year. Later, Jack would serve as club president and help the team to multiple conference titles and regional tournaments. In the classroom, Jack has grown to love the field of economics, specifically the areas of game theory and econometrics. Following graduation, Jack plans to work in data analytics for a software firm in Salt Lake. His long-term goal is to start his own business. Jack credits his many achievements to his loving parents, mentors, professors, and close friends. On a personal note, I first met Jack when he was a student in my econometrics class. Over the past 2 years, I've had the opportunity to get to know Jack, as he has taken a sequence of courses in econometrics and worked as my TA. If I can point out just one characteristic that makes Jack stand out among his peers, it is his work ethic. USU students are known to be hard workers, but Jack takes it to another level. As a third-generation Aggie, I could not be more proud to have Jack Despain represent the John M. Huntsman School of Business as the 2021 valedictorian.
Hey everybody, I'm honored to be able to talk to you all today. First, I want to congratulate everyone for graduating from the Huntsman School of Business. I see a lot of familiar faces, and it makes me happy that I get to share this day with so many of you that I spent a lot of time with over the past 4 years. If you know me, you know that I have no patience, so I'm going to keep this relatively short. Professor Depew can attest to this, that if I ever got bored in class, I tended to fall asleep, and he was one of the few professors that would call on me until I actually woke up, which is probably because the class size was so small. So if I see any of you falling asleep, I'll know that I'm being boring, and I'll wrap it up shortly. So today I want to focus on 2 subjects. When I reflected on my time here at Utah State over the past 4 years, these 2 subjects were what repeatedly came to the top of my mind. And those are learning from failure and taking risks. I think we can all relate to failure and risk, even if our perception of the 2 are very different. I've been playing baseball for my whole life. I started playing wiffle ball with my family as soon as I was able to swing a bat. And I've played here at Utah State for the past 4 years, which has been a lot of fun. Of the many lessons that I've learned playing baseball, I think among the most important is the fact that in baseball you constantly learn from failure in order to succeed. And I think Hall of Famer Ted Williams put it best when he said, "Baseball is the only field of endeavor where a man can succeed 3 times out of 10 and still be considered a good performer." And he's referring to batters and batting averages. And batters, if you know baseball, they're constantly remembering what pitches were thrown to them during their at-bats, how they reacted, and what the outcome of those at-bats were. If they struck out swinging on a breaking ball, they're going to be ready for that pitch in their next at-bat. So I think baseball is unique in the sense where in order to succeed, you're forced to learn from your failure, and it happens a lot more often than success. So remember the breaking balls and get ready to adjust. When I think of our education and our lives moving forward, I think being able to learn from failure and being good at learning from failure will really accelerate our growth as individuals. I've learned a lot about risk over the past 4 years, and as we know as business students, risk is directly correlated with reward. Through a combination of books, classes, and personal experience, I've come to learn that everyone has a different level of comfort when it comes to risk tolerance. 2 of my closest friends have more risk tolerance than anyone that I know. Through them, they've encouraged me and others to take more risk. And as I reflected again, I thought that now is the best time for us to take risks as graduates. For many of us, we have zero obligations. We don't have a mortgage to pay. We don't have any kids to take care of. There's so few necessities that we have right now in our lives, which is why it's the perfect time to take risks. So I think we should reflect on what motivates us and what makes us happy, and then go get after it. Pursue whatever that may be with hard work, and get out of your comfort zone by taking more risk. John M. Huntsman himself said, "Engaging in activities devoid of difficulties, lounging in risk-free zones is a life without great meaning." It's my hope that we'll be able to take the education and the knowledge that we've gained over the past 4 years here at Utah State to be very intelligent about the way we go about taking risks, and then to learn from the failure that inevitably is going to come with that. And if we can repeat that process throughout our lives as we move on, whether we continue our education or start our career, hopefully we'll be able to live a life of great meaning. Utah State and the John M. Huntsman School of Business have done a great job in preparing us to do just that. Lastly, I just want to end in gratitude. I want to thank my parents for the unconditional love and support that they've shown me over the past 22 years. I wouldn't be here without them, and I wouldn't be the person that I am today. I'd like to thank my brothers for always pushing me, whether through playful competition or not. I want to thank them for pushing me and being 3 of my closest friends. And then to everyone that I've met at Utah State, classmates, roommates, teammates, I want to thank you all. With you, I've been able to experience some of my most favorite memories that I'll never forget. And I think we owe a great thanks to our professors who have had a profound impact on our lives and our education here at Utah State. I'm very excited to see where we all go moving forward. So class of 2021, thank you and congratulations.
Thanks, Jack, for those inspiring words about persevering through and learning from failure and taking prudent risk. Excellent, excellent comments. And now we begin with the presentation of our diplomas. We ask family and friends to please cheer on your graduates from where you're sitting in the stands. Audience members won't be permitted back down here on the floor, but instead, we have professional photographers positioned to capture key moments. All photographs of your graduates will be available to you on Monday, May 10th on USU's commencement website. They will be organized by this event, and you're welcome to share those photos with friends and family members on social media. So we'll begin now with the presentation of the diplomas.
Dean Anderson, I present to you the graduates from the Department of Economics and Finance. Jonah Hansen, Economics. Jack Despain, Finance and Economics. Sean Walton, Economics. Christopher Rodriguez, Economics. Taylor Sizemore, Economics. Rachel Carlson, Economics. Jaron Carlson, Economics. Aubrey Newton, Economics. Christian Sonnenberg, Economics. Nikolai Christensen, Finance. Elena Hall, Economics. Riley Johnson, Finance. Quinn McClune, Finance. Ethan Anderson, Economics. Emily Rice, Economics and Marketing. Maata Burkhart, Economics and Finance. Andy Cornea, Finance and Accounting. Juan Flores, Finance. Oscar Diaz, Finance and Economics. Sami Ahmed, Finance. Jackson Curtis, Finance. Jordan Skousen, Finance. Rhett Ballantyne, Economics and Finance. Ryan Acey, Finance and International Business. Nate Johansson, Economics. Connor Owen, Finance. Morgan Fabrizio, Finance. Logan Halverson, Economics. Cade Sutton, Finance and Economics. Ryan Baker, Finance and Economics. Matthew Willis, Finance and Economics. Lizzie Bickmore, Finance and International Business. Yana Bogoev, Economics and International Studies. Hayden Clegg, Finance and Economics. Colton Dewar, Economics. Jace Jones, Economics. Kent Thompson, Finance and Economics. Tyler Laudenkloss, Economics. Brandon Jones, Economics. Christian Valdiva, Economics, Finance, and Management Information Systems. Clayton Shaw, Economics and Finance. Tyler Davenport, Finance and Economics. Trent Fife, Finance. Christian Montgomery, Finance. Savannah Montgomery, Finance. Dakota Roberts, Finance and Economics. Joshua Guyman, Finance and Economics. Matt Stringham, Business Administration and Finance. David Edwards, Economics. Annika Cole, Economics. Thomas Wilkin, Finance. Elizabeth Christensen, Economics. Emily Merrill, Finance. Benjamin Shaw, Economics. Kylie Kelly, Economics. Andrew Pickett, Economics. Ethan Hartley, Economics and Finance. Parker Jenks, Economics and Finance. Kohler Lang, Finance. Felipe Acosta, Finance and International Business. Quentin Bybee, Finance and Management Information Systems. Bo Denhalter, Finance and Management. Xavier Hay, Finance. Lizzie Campbell, Finance. Riker Lowe, Finance and Economics. Mackenzie Fenton, Finance. Katie Stratton, Marketing. Nick Magda, Economics. Brady Cowley, Finance and Economics. Brent Walker, Finance. Weston Page, Finance. Mike Hatfield, Finance. Jackson Ritchie, Finance. Jacob Moore, Economics and Finance. Michael Madsen, Economics. Daniel King, Finance. Catherine Van Schaar, Economics. Samuel Johnson, Finance and Economics. Margaret Camereth, Economics. Emily Sorensen, Finance and Economics. Kaylin Bushnell, Economics. Landon Work, Economics and Finance. Brett Syndergaard, Economics. Kenneth Bonzo, Economics and Finance. Chad Bohr, Finance. Tyler Brower, Finance and Economics.
Dean Anderson, I am pleased to present to you graduates of the School of Accountancy, Nil Sessions. Kristen Reese. Whitney Yardley. Hayden Brown. Madeline Smith. Aubrey Smith. Casey Bergen. Joshua von Niederhausern. Robina Pals. Shelby Johansson. Jake Breeze. Brandon Wilson. Morgan Hendricks. Ashlyn Rodaback. Jessica Zarate. Cash Hughie. Matisse Jensen. Jaden Skidmore.
Dean Anderson, I'm pleased to present graduates of the Department of Data Analytics and Information Systems. Aaron Crump. John Saline. Matt Lister. Tegan Jackson. Cohen Haroldson. Cordell McCracken. Star Stevens. Jordan Dodge. Luke Morrill. Emily Taylor. John Dautrick. Bailey Facemeyer. Dylan Smith. Palmer Edholm. Kellen Law. Sam Mason. Caden Priest. Haley Anderson. Brooke Gardner. Grace Johnson. Tanner McClune. Ty Schmalsley. Jordan Wells. Spencer Simmons. Samuel Stern. Logan Duve. Austin War. Dylan Wilkins. Annabelle Beck. Kayla Gentry. Caleb Shoup. Bryce Christensen. Tyson Baker. Grant Clare. Chase Anderson. Blair Peck.
Dean Anderson, it's my pleasure to present the graduates from the Department of Marketing and Strategy. Jojo Savia, Marketing. Dawson Carroll, Marketing. Christian Perry, Marketing and Economics. Nikki Beckmore, Marketing. Anna Kremneff, Marketing. Serena Rosado, Marketing. Ashley White, Marketing. Alexa Houston, Marketing. Kelsey Montgomery, Marketing. Addie Wertz, Marketing. Alexa Cook, Marketing. Tabitha Brady, Marketing. Abigail Dottle, Marketing. Sarah Ruckert, Marketing. Ashton Hopper, International Business. Joshua Throckmorton, International Business. Jessica Johnson, Marketing. Kylie Fenton, Marketing. Cooper Lowe, Marketing and Business Administration. Spencer Yates, Marketing. Stuart Hayward, Marketing. Annika Felstead, Marketing. Bailey Hatterton, Marketing. Jake Simpkins, Marketing. Chase Butterfield, Marketing. Tanner Clegg, Marketing. Addie Pashish, Marketing. Daniel Lloyd Gaynor, Marketing. Jacob Young, Marketing. Miljan Hansen, Marketing and Business Administration. Kenneth Carr, Marketing. Jesse Brickenhoff, Marketing and International Business. Hannah Sanders, Marketing and Business Administration. Jeffrey Tibbetts, Marketing. Noah Turner, International Business. John Toller, International Business. James Larson, Marketing and Economics. Trevor Wilkie, Marketing and Management. Adam Olpen, Marketing. Chase Peterson, Marketing. Leslie Patterson, Marketing. Ashley Blair, Marketing. Paul Hayward, Marketing. Burton Griffin, Marketing. Alex Tebbs, International Business and Finance. Meredith Richards, Marketing. Brock Hardcastle, Marketing. Sammy Train, Marketing and Business Administration. Brittany Adams, Marketing and Business Administration. Jaden Byers, Marketing. Jackson Roney, Marketing. Colin Peterson, Marketing and Business Administration. Braden Skillicorn, Marketing. Andrew Grover, Marketing. Nick Vasquez, Marketing. Maggie Jensen, Marketing. Alyssa Wood, Marketing. Ashley Basinger, Marketing. Karen Christensen, Business Administration. Jake Wren, Marketing. Brianna Lerma, Business Administration. Kennedy Hira, Business Administration. Katie Snow, Marketing. Mitchell Lewis, Marketing. Corbin Baucom, Marketing. Paige Ogden, Marketing. Marketing. Sammy Peterson, Marketing. Justin Hedrick, Marketing. Autumn DeHard, Marketing. Jeremy Harms, Marketing. Carter Matheson, Marketing. Lindsay Ballard, Business Administration and Marketing. Taylor Griffin, Business Administration. Shani Hansen, Business Administration. Alyssa Child, Marketing and Business Administration. Lindsay Hells, Marketing and Business Administration. Liz Alcala, International Business. James Whitlock, Marketing. Carson Gibbs, International Business, Economics, Bachelor of Science, and Finance. Scott Labram, Business Administration. Taylor Compton, Marketing.
Dean Anderson, it's my pleasure to present to you the graduates of the Department of Management. Caden Jacobs, Business Administration. Celinda Thurston. Brandon Ferrin. Emily Taggart. Alexis Keller. Josh Andrus. Nathan Larson. Jordan Atwood. Haley Christensen. Jake Harrison. Austin Tidwell. Candy Benton. Annika Sturgill. Thomas Gartner. Heather Webb. Mary Leistad. Carrie Fauner. Amy Vick. Benjamin Vick. Cody Standing. Kylie Nelson. Brooke Tarbett. Chloe Tinsor. Elisa Christensen. Nick Durbidge. Janae Judkins. Thomas Erickson. Rachel Throckmorton. Tanner Nielsen. Timothy Murphy. Keaton Flitton. Jared Worth. Cody Osterberg. Erin Johnson. Taylor Malett. Nash Atkinson. Kirk Napoleon. Patrick Zahn. Shelby Eggers and Kaysen Eggers. Tanner Monson. Taylor Johansson. Mikkel Henderson. Tyler Diebel. Dylan Halverson. Daniel Lungi. Nicole Harper.
Well done, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to present the 2021 graduating class of John M. Huntsman School of Business. Congratulations, graduates. And now to conclude, I have just a few words to share. The world thrilled last February when the Mars rover Perseverance began its descent at more than 12,000 miles an hour toward the surface of the red planet. It would have just 7 minutes to slow down enough for a gentle touchdown. A series of maneuvers braked the capsule to 1,000 miles per hour. At that point, the landing system called for the use of a parachute. According to NASA and Jet Propulsion Lab engineer Anita Sengupta, it is the largest and strongest supersonic parachute that we've ever built. It has to withstand 65,000 pounds of force, even though the parachute itself only weighs about 100 pounds. The parachute did its job. It deployed at 100 miles per hour and slowed the package down to 200 miles per hour, a little faster than a human body would fall from the same height without a parachute. At that point, the parachute was cut loose and the retro rockets were fired. Cameras captured the descent and deployment of the parachute. The video of the landing was narrated at a news conference on Monday following the landing by Alan Chen, the engineer in charge of the landing system. As the reddish-orange and white parachute was shown deploying, Chen dropped a hint that its pattern might contain a hidden message. About 2 hours later, Maxine Abela, a 23-year-old computer science student in Paris, cracked the code and posted it on Twitter. Dare mighty things. Huntsman students will recognize Dare Mighty Things as our motto, emblazoned on the walls of Huntsman Hall and taken from a famous speech by President Theodore Roosevelt. Far better it is to dare mighty things, President Roosevelt said, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to take rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy much nor suffer much because they live in a gray twilight that knows neither victory nor defeat. The Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Altadena, California takes its inspiration from the same source, and like the Huntsman School, posts the credo liberally on the walls of its labs. I'm reminded of another inspirational speech, one given by President John F. Kennedy at the dawn of the space age on September 12, 1962. President Kennedy said this, quote, "We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard, because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills, because that challenge is one we are willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one which we intend to win," end quote. The mission of the Mars rover Perseverance is one of those hard things. It takes soil and rock samples that will be returned to Earth and seek to determine whether oxygen can be made from the carbon dioxide that fills the Martian atmosphere. The name Perseverance was chosen through a nationwide competition that attracted more than 28,000 proposals. 7th grade student Alexander Mather from Lake Braddock Secondary School in Burke, Virginia, coined the name that was selected and contrasted Perseverance with the names given to 4 earlier Mars missions. Here's what he said in his winning essay, quote, "Curiosity, insight, spirit, opportunity. If you think about it, all of these names of past Mars rovers are qualities we possess as humans. We are always curious and seek opportunity. We have the spirit and insight to explore the moon, Mars, and beyond. But if rovers are to become qualities of us as a race, we miss the most important thing, perseverance. We as humans evolved as creatures who can learn to adapt to any situation, no matter how harsh. We are a species of explorers, and we will meet many setbacks on the way to Mars. However, we can persevere. We, not as a nation but as humans, will not give up. The human race will always persevere into the future, end quote. Alexander continued, to me, perseverance means that in the inevitable setbacks we are going to face on the main way to Mars, humans won't give up. Humans will keep on sending new missions. Humans will keep on improving technology. And humans will eventually live on other places throughout the solar system and maybe even beyond, end quote. Perseverance is a great name, not only for the Mars rover, but for you, the class of 2021. In the face of difficulties, disappointment, sickness, and opposition, you have continued to achieve, to persevere. You have been steadfast. You have done hard things, and in the process, you have grown and developed great qualities. Perseverance, the rover, would not have been possible without the learning that came from the preceding rovers, curiosity, spirit, and opportunity. Use the learning you have gained this year and in each of the years you have spent at this, your alma mater, to do mighty things. We'll be watching and cheering you on, class of 2021, the class of perseverance. This concludes our graduation ceremony. We'd like to extend our sincere congratulations to our graduates on this outstanding accomplishment, as well as gratitude to those of you in the audience who've joined us today, both in person and so many more throughout our broadcast. The world needs more Aggies. In the four corners of the world, leading lives of meeting and contribution, the world needs more Aggies. You now represent us, the Huntsman School of Business and Utah State University. We're proud of you. Congratulations and best wishes for your continued success. And now, graduates, our department marshals will direct you to the exit row by row as you recess through the east doors of the building. And please pick up a journal and a treat from the tables outside as you make your way to Legacy Field. We would like to ask our guests to kindly make their ways to the upper concourse above your section and exit through the south doors as efficiently as you possibly can to allow the next group to begin on time. You may then meet up with your graduates at Legacy Field on the south end of the spectrum. Please join me now once more in a final tribute to a class of 2021, and thank you all for coming. And now, graduates, the words you've been waiting for, class dismissed.